Priority clearance recognition, Alpha 1.
Jolon True, Attack Wing Captains and Admirals, and welcome back to another Antares Shipyard video here on YouTube. This video is going to be the fourth in the series and the final video for the Klingon Faction Pack Blood Oath. Sitting here at the captain's table in this video, we have myself, David Montgomery from the Shipyard. Link will be in the description below. And our special guest host from the community, Mr. Dan Ward. In this video, we're going to cover all of the upgrades that we haven't covered in part 1, 2, or 3. So we're going to be looking at each tech, weapon, and the new ambassadors that come with this faction pack. You'll be able to find all of the time codes for the cards in this video in the description box below. And again, comment below what your favorite weapon, tech, or ambassador is, or which one you cannot wait to use in combat. You can also continue this conversation over on the Fremont Reformation Discord server. Again, you'll find that link in the description box below. And please consider growing the channel by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. That way you are notified when more subspace communications are released from the Antares Shipyard. Now, on to the video. Computer, engage program. So now we will pull... we're going into the elite talents. This one is a death worthy of Sto-Vo-Kor. It is a Klingon captain locked. Discard this card and discard this card and a crew upgrade equipped to this ship, and target an opposing ship at range 1 to 2. Discard an upgrade equipped to the target ship. If that upgrade has a printed SP cost higher than the printed SP cost of the crew you discarded, this ship rolls +1 attack die for all attacks this game round. Okay, so immediately you're going to want this card on a ship that's going to make more than one attack, if you're going to play this card. It's got a lot of words, and I'll be completely honest, I generally skew away from cards that have a lot of words, because there's generally a lot of different costs and variables that go into them. What do you have to say, Dave?
While I don't love the card, I do find it at least intriguing. I will say Grilka and the Tellarite Bounty Hunter better be prepared to die many deaths, because they are those 1-point crew.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, any 1-point crew better be ready to die many deaths.
Yeah.
I think additional phaser arrays, the Fremont special is going to see more play, because that's your 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really one of the best ways to get more out of this card. The card we covered earlier, Klingon Gunner, that gives you that extra attack in the end phase.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now your captain's having a death worthy of Sto-Vo-Kor as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe it's all a little pricey, but when you can make that many high value attacks, maybe it is worth something. I don't know. It's got me at least thinking, and that's something that I haven't been able to say of a lot of Klingon elite talents.
That's true. How about you, Dan? What did you get any combos with this?
I had mixed feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed a little pricey for me, but like David, I was going to make sure I had those 1-cost crew that I can get rid of. And I see it as kind of situational, but I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Additional phaser arrays came up with getting rid of that. I didn't see a lot of combos with it. I hadn't thought about the ships that can fire twice. That makes it a little more palatable to me.
Yeah. The chat did recommend this card, and I think it's a fairly good combo. Torpedo Fusillade.
Yeah.
So at least you're getting +1 for every torpedo attack that you're making. It's each separate attack.
I would also throw Sto-Vo-Kor into that.
It's definitely going to be a range 2 special.
Yeah.
Unless you increase it with Uhura, but then you're talking a whole nother crew slot and even more expensive stuff. So I think this is definitely a range 2 special. If you're going to use Fusillade. Additional phaser arrays is interesting because if you run that again, if you attack again, you're -2 attack dice. But then with the +1, so you're really only -1. Again, I think that's an interesting card. Admiral Worf is another one that comes up. Would it pair well with the Vorn? It could pair well with the Vorn. The Vorn you're getting a boost during your range attack. Boop-a-doop-doop. Here's the Vorn. Oh, let's scale that up a little more. I think I know what I need to work on the next episode. We'll get some scaled up cards. So yeah, it could work with the Vorn. It could push you to that rule of 3 threshold if you're attacking at range 1. So you could have 4, 6, 7, 8. No, yeah. 8 at range 1 if they're. Yeah, I mean, Deathworthy Sto-Vo-Kor. It's an interesting concept. You're discarding a crew. Like you said, you're definitely your 1-point crew. Your Grilkas, your Tellarite Bounty Hunters. I guess Klingon Beck if you wanted to. That's a 1-point crew.
Yeah. I almost wonder if this fits best underneath DNA encoded messages as one of your 3 options. That way you're not committed to it, but you still have the option for it.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that. So with the Vorn, this is a Predator in the chat asked, does the Vorn only work for 1 attack? So the Vorn's text reads when attacking. In my experience, it works with every attack. As long as the ship is cloaked.
It should.
Yeah. So if you're firing Torpedo Fusillade at range 2, you're getting that +1 attack dice each time you attack. So if you're making multiple attacks at range 1, you're getting that ability as well. So yeah, the Vorn should work for more than 1 attack. Again, that's one of my favorite cards at the moment to run in a competitive sense. But let's move on to the next elite talent, which I actually really like. Now we do get 3 copies of this card in the faction pack, which I think was a brilliant move on WizKids' part. So, 1 per ship, Dahar Master, locked to a Klingon ship, can only be equipped to a captain named Kang, Koloth, or Kor. Increase the captain skill of this captain by 1 for each copy of Dahar Master in your fleet, including this one. Activation phase, this ship may perform a cloak action or a target lock action as a free action. I am telling you that this is immediately going into my competitive fleet. Because I have Korrd on my Vorn as we speak. And he's got an elite talent slot that's open. And I have 2 points that I can throw right onto that ship. I'm using this card. Not only does it increase your captain skill, it also gives me a free action. I'm using it because the Vorn needs to be cloaked. that is that's one of my combos right there. Is Dahar Master with any of the Dahar Masters, mainly Core, the reroll Core or the Tomb Core, and the Vorn, because you want to be cloaked with the Vorn. The Vorn's going to hit harder when it's cloaked, the closer you get with it. Increasing your captain skill. That reroll Core is a skill 8. Increasing him to skill 9 puts him at the top tier there. I think that's a good combo. What'd you think of the card, Dave?
I like it for all the reasons you're talking about. The reason we like Lursa is because she gives us a free cloak or sensor echo.
Mm-hmm.
Dahar Master does similar things, cloak or target lock. So it plays into a lot of these captains and ships that are in this pack. It seems to have great synergy with what's going on. I mean, obviously, you sit here and you go, okay, it's limited to 3 named captains, but I think collectively between those 3 names, we have something like 9 abilities, maybe 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fair number.
Yeah. If that's a good point.
And so we definitely don't lack for choice.
No.
Some of them, like, defensive reroll absorb shots core, I don't really see the synergy here. But other things, a lot of the other versions of core, oh yeah, this works. Kang benefits with a free target lock to make that alpha strike even more potent. Koloth has at least some use. And I mean, just about every Klingon ship benefits from a sensor, a cloak, and then being able to sensor echo or a target lock. So,
yeah. What do you think, Dan?
Well, I don't know what I can add to what the two of you have said, but I like this card, and it's probably one of the reasons why I'm going to start trying to play Klingons, which I've usually stayed away from. I really think with the increase in captain skill and the free actions, it just, and as David said, all the different, even there are 3 captains that it works with, the options are many, and I see lots of opportunities here.
Yeah, because this could also work with the Mirror Universe captains. Mm-hmm. So you've still got Mirror Universe Kang hanging out there, Mirror Universe Core. Those are still out there. So really, you've got the three captains in this pack: Kang, Koloth, Core. 2 copies of Kang, really, and then everything else that's out there. So there's definitely a lot to like here. And my competitive fleet building, I generally look at, reroll Core first, and I go down the line from there. Mainly because when I'm building the Vorn, that's what I'm looking at, is attack dice quality. With the Dahar Master, I'm getting my attack dice first, and if I'm already cloaked, I can take that target lock for quality, and I'm running Admiral Gowron, who's given me a battle station. So now you've got the magic combo of target lock battle station. And I still have an action to use, because Gowron will grant you that free action, so I can sensor echo where I need to go. I think the Vorn's definitely an underplayed, an underutilized ship in the competitive space. See, the chat says Mirror Kang and Korrd could be fun. You could have +5 captain skill, so even someone reduces, and that's true. You could run a fleet where you've got Kang, Koloth, Core, Prime Universe, and then you're running the Mirror Universe Kang and Core. So you could have 5 copies of Dahar Master hanging out there. You'd get capped at rule of 3 on the captain skill. But you could technically run 5 Dahar Masters. One of the fleets I was thinking of, and I think they alluded to it, Steven might have alluded to it, was pairing Dahar Master with Gornale, and making kind of a drunken master fleet, as they would call it, where you're running Dahar Master. I think Robert might have talked about it too. But you're running Dahar Masters, increasing captain skill. Then you're running Meridor Gornale, giving you more attack. In trade-off for that captain skill. But I think that's an interesting route to go. I haven't completely played with it to see what I could come up with in that area, but it's something for people to think about. It's the drunken master build, as they called it. Yeah, the 5 Dahar Masters is interesting. I don't know if I'd run it competitively, but maybe in a mission I might try and fit it in there, or a side event. That'd be fun. But yeah, overall, I think Dahar Master is a great card. Even with it being locked to those 3 names, as we've pointed out, there's a lot of options. So again, there's 3 copies, and that is the last elite talent in this pack. We've got the first weapon in this pack is 1 per ship. It is Concussive Charges, and it's got the asterisks for a weapon value. And it is front and rear arc, locked to a Klingon ship. The attack value of this weapon is the ship's primary weapon value. Attack. Spin this ship's cloak token, raise its shields, and place 2 time tokens on this card and target an opposing ship. If this card is equipped to a Katinga class ship, it rolls +1 attack die. For each uncancelled hit or crit, remove up to 1 token of your choice beside the defending ship, and it's coming in at 2 points. So we've already had Concussive Charges in the game before, and I believe this is a much better version. I think it's a better worded version, and it's closer. So the Concussive Charges that we already had is 4 points, and it's range 2 to 3 and 4 attack dice. This is range 1 to 2, but you're spending a cloak token and you're raising your shields. I don't know. It's situational for me. I'm not 100% sure what situation that would be where I'm using it. What do you think, Dan?
Well, I thought it was situational as well, at least the way I play. Maybe useful if you swoop by and get in behind somebody with that rear firing arc, if you have a ship that has that. But I don't know. I had a hard time coming up with why I would want to equip this to my build.
Yeah. Could you kill your opponent's cloak? You spend... yes? Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, if you punch through, you just remove their cloak token. Their shields wouldn't come back up. So if you get lucky,
Yeah.
you could actually get through that way. That's one of the good uses of this, but boy, that's going to be rare.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that is a good point. It says remove token. Yeah. Oh, combined with Nanclus.
Where they can't roll defense dice.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, let me get Nanclus pulled up here. Either way,
Nanclus has not seen much competitive play lately.
No, at least. Well, I mean, in Fremont, he's been kind of on the shelf, but yeah, when I went to Worlds, I didn't really see him out there. Or not Worlds, Nationals. Nationals in 2019, I didn't see him. Do you have any other combos, Dave, for this card, or anything else with this card?
I think this really becomes about how can you get more dice, because you need to be able to hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
And Nanclus, of course, is going to help, but really you have to make sure that you're rolling quantity and quality to get as much through as possible. It's almost, yeah, they're only going to have 1-2 tokens, but you still want to be able to make it hurt. And if you're not making your attack hurt, then why did you spend your shields and all of that?
Mhm.
And again, Garrick. Garrick, thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, so I think right there, Nanclus, Elam Garrick, so he can't, or the opponent can't cancel a hit or a crit, so you're at least getting one. Also, I will tell everybody on the stream that the Nanclus that is on the screen is not. He was errated, right? He's got an errata. I don't remember now. No, he's just got an updated. Yeah. Wait. Utopia reads: discard this card targeting an opposing ship. I think he got an updated card.
Yeah.
And I don't have that, or we don't have that in TTS. Just the way the ID system works out. That's the only reason why it's not in there. So I don't think there's any change.
No, because they went through a few months when they were just giving us new versions of old cards.
Yeah.
Which was fine.
Yeah, so I definitely think a Nanclus Elam Garrick combo here could help Concussive Charges out. You just have to. The ship's got to be cloaked. Your ship has got to be cloaked.
So then you're looking at a Dahar Master, and yeah, it's not bad. It's just getting a little pricey, which is fine. I think it goes best on a Katinga.
Yeah, that could work. A Katinga, one of those Barrels.
Yeah.
Well, really, you want it on a Katinga because you're getting +1 attack die. Yeah, I think that's probably Katinga. Who else gets you 1+? There's now we've looked at all the cards and I can't remember who. Was it Kang? No, Kang has had 2 crit results. Could combine it with the Albino.
Could.
Throw it on the Kaskari with the Albino, Nanclus, and Elam Garrick. That might be a fun little ship right there. It's not a Katinga, but you're rolling +1 from the albino, and then you're adding a hit. Well, okay. So there's.
I'd probably go with the Ta'akog. Taco G?
The Taco G. So in the pack, you get 2 Concussive Charge cards. So there's 2 of them to run, because we get 2 Katingas. Now we've got another weapon here, Waylay. It has another asterisk for its weapon value, forward firing arc, and it has to be on a ship with a hull of 3 or less. The attack value of this weapon is the ship's primary weapon value, range 1 to 2. Attack, place 2 time tokens on this card, and target an opposing ship. If this card is equipped to a Burrell class, place an Ox Power token beside the defending ship. After making this attack, the ship may perform a 1 bank, left or right, and it's white, and place an invade token besides this ship. Dave, do you want to start on this card?
Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of Ferengi Photon Torpedo vibes. You know, that Ox Power token on the defending ship. So it's got extra utility there. And I like the bottom part, that bonus move. It gives me this is all going into the now you see me, now you don't fleet. This bonus maneuver, things like the Saran, the Thomas Riker, all of these things, they work together. Yes, we put this on a Burrell, but I think it works really well with the albino and the Koskari.
Yeah.
And it just works. And a free evade is a good thing. We want this on a high skill captain, so that you can benefit from that evade, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah, the chat's saying Luren's bird of prey.
Well, that too.
That way you attack first, and then you move out of the way. What about you, Dan?
Well, I was thinking along the same lines, like I always do, I guess. But the, the now you see them, now you don't concept. I think it would work really good with that. And but the high skill captain, I think you need that. I was looking at it on the Koskari. I was just looking at this pack. I thought it worked pretty well with that. So.
Yeah, I definitely think that's exactly what this card's meant to be. That's the exact fleet this card needs to be involved in. Is the now you see him, now you don't. He's got to go on a ship -3 hulls, so you're not looking at too many options, but the options it does have is good. Because a lot of people are going to be running those Burrells. Let's be honest. A Burrell is a glass cannon, especially when it's cloaked. You only have to put 3 damage into it before it's gone. So if you're able to move out of the way and then get an evade token just because, that seems perfect to me. Not to mention Kalana, as the chat just pointed out. Yeah, Kalana makes this so you can use it every turn. So yeah, definitely Ferengi Photon Torpedo vibes, but I think it works well in a Burrell class, really. I mean, you could put it on a Raptor, but I think its place is a Burrell. That's funny. Chat just recommended a Raptor as soon as I said it too. So yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Since it's not unique, it might work pretty well with a swarm.
Oh, that's a good point. It's not unique, and it's not one per ship.
Yeah.
So I mean,
everybody gets one.
Yeah, you could load 2 of these on a ship.
Yeah.
If you don't have Kalana or Romulan Tactical Officer or Arsenal, if you don't want to pay, I wouldn't pay that much for those cards, but because you're if you put Romulan Tactical Officer on a Klingon ship, I think there's extra SP involved in that. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. Let's go on to the next card. Something that the Klingons don't do very well. It is the Science Station. 1 per ship. Add a 1 tech upgrade to the ship's upgrade bar. Range 1 to 3, free action. If the ship is cloaked, place 2 time tokens on this card. Place 1 scan token besides this ship. If an opposing ship is within the ship's primary firing arc, this ship may perform a target lock action, targeting that opposing ship as a free action. Okay. I like that this ship is adding a tech slot. It's paying for its, or this card is adding a tech slot. It's paying for itself. This is a card that you could pair with the Katinga that we were talking about earlier. The Katanko, where you can put a 4 SP tech for free. So you're getting the Science Station, and then you can put Klingon Cloaking Device on, or do whatever. So, yes. Yes, you. So the chat's asking if you can use the scan action with the science station, and if Mara gave you the scan action, the answer is yes, because the keyword with science station is place. So you're placing a scan token beside the ship. Placing and then doing the action are two separate things. And I believe that ruling came on Valaris. If you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but because Valaris is placing an evade, and WizKids came up with that one. Well, let's throw it over to Dave. He's rather quiet at the moment.
Yeah, pondering. I feel like this is another key to the Kang Alpha Strike build. I don't
Okay.
know. It might be too much, but why not? Why not hit them with a scan token so that they roll one less defense die, and have a conditional. Well, you if you're gonna target them, you might as well get that target lock on there, and it could work. It's maybe a little too expensive. I get that.
Yeah.
But typically Klingon tech doesn't have a lot of utility. We struggled to come up with good for or under Klingon tech. I'm with you. I think this does work on the Katinga. It's a nice piece, but alone, I don't know that it does everything we want it to do. But it does have it feels like a nice complementary cog.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I will get to Dan. How about let's have you go next. Let me look at the chat here.
Well, I thought it was a little pricey, to be honest, but I do like getting the extra tech there. But I saw it as really having to go with the Katanko.
Yeah.
I think that's where it works best.
Yeah, because then at least you're getting free points. You could fill projected stasis field in its slot, and you're getting 9 points for 5 points.
Yeah.
Plus you're getting the target lock. Because doesn't projected stasis field? No, it doesn't. It's an action. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the chat's talking about scans. So for the scan, you would definitely have to have Mara. And the reason I say that is because Beta Hirogen, he only works if you do the scan action. So if you're placing a scan token, he does not activate, so he doesn't get to place another token. So you have to do the scan action, which Mara gives you the scan action. So you're looking at having at least 2 crew slots for that, and the science station to work. But you could potentially get up to 3 scan tokens, and yes, the Vulcans do throw down a lot of tokens, and it seems like this series has been pretty popular so far tonight. We may end up getting to do a Vulcan episode, at least looking at their faction pack. So I think everything's been said that needs to be said about the science station. It's okay. It definitely can be paired with the Katanko fairly well. And I think it's really where it goes. So let's move on to the next cards, and we're moving into the new card types we've got. And we're in the home stretch here as we are going on to card 27 of 28. It is an ambassador. We've got Kamarag, who is the ambassador during the motion picture movies, so Star Trek. I think his first appearance was in Star Trek 4. I want to say he was in Voyage Home. Not as a named character, but he was definitely more involved with Undiscovered Country. So, Kamarag, negotiations accepted. So if you guys aren't aware of how admirals work, before the start of the first turn, let's see, I want to make sure I'm reading this right. So at the start of the game, players activate their ambassadors. So that's after you place your ships and you guys are ready to go. Place your ships, you guys are setting dials, that's the start of the game. You offer negotiations to a targeted ship. So negotiation, and then the other player has the ability to either accept or deny those negotiations, and negotiations have effects that can be one-time effects or lasting game effects. The only other thing to really be aware of as ambassadors is that targeted ship. If your ship is targeted by an ambassador and you accept those negotiations, and then you move forward and destroy that targeted ship of yours, destroys that ship that has the ambassador on board, it activates the negotiations denied part as well. That's something a lot of people tend to gloss over, I've noticed in the unboxings, but I think that's something that's important that needs to be said. So, Kamarag. Negotiations accepted. During the combat phase, the ship and the target ship must attack each other if able. Negotiations denied. The next time the target ship attacks, it rolls -3 attack dice. Okay, so I don't have much. I don't think we're going to find many combos to go with ambassadors, just due to the order of operations of things. But let's hear what you think, Dave, of Kamarag.
Yeah. So I'm of the mind that if you're going to use your ambassador slot on Kamarag, you want to put your opponent in a position where they have to shoot at a ship that they don't want to shoot at. So Kamarag should be on not your high priority ship, not a vulnerable ship, something that's somewhat bulky, or something that's not worth a whole lot of points.
Yeah.
In other words, you could put them on a generic Burrell, and then that's what, all of 15, 16 points?
Yep.
Yeah. And they go, oh, great, I got to shoot that one thing. Meanwhile, you can hammer home everything else that's going on. And yeah, sure, you have to shoot their ship, but you've also put yourself in a position where you're targeting a ship that you actually want to shoot.
Yeah.
And the denied part of this, that's going to be good basically no matter what you choose, provided you're choosing a ship with at least 3 attack dice. So there's not a whole lot of downside to what they're doing. Just make sure you're choosing wisely.
Yeah. I tend to agree. The other important note is with ambassadors is they do not pay faction penalties. So you don't even have to take that Burrell. You could take that scout ship if you wanted to, or the science ship. And what, 9, 12 points?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Dan?
Well, I could see Kamarag working with Korrd, where he acquires all the target locks. And if you are going to face an attack from one of those ships, you can reduce it. And if you couple that with dispersive armor, you're down to at least one ship rolling 1 die.
Yeah. That's true. I think there's a way you could play it to where you put Kamarag on a ship that you want them to attack. So you're talking like that old core that says, "Hey, attack me," or colo that says, "Hey, attack me," and you make sure that the ship that accepted the negotiations attacks you. And then if they destroy you, the next time the target ship attacks, then the negotiations denied goes off too. But you got to make sure that you have a high captain skill, and you're going to pay a high price for that. So I don't know if you're going to sacrifice a high captain skill for that.
I mean, what about putting him on the I stab at the Tasha Yar combo ship and letting that ship die, and but they have to shoot you? Like, that was the whole point of that ship.
True.
It's suicide mission.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I definitely think he goes. I think that's the build that he fits into, is that the suicide build.
And if they look at it and they go, you know what, I don't want to shoot you, you still get the benefit of them rolling 3 less attack dice.
Yeah. I think that's where he fits in overall. He's not the first ambassador on my list that I would play. I'm interested to see, just because they're so new, if they're going to be in the meta for the competitive. I know this last round for Fremont, I believe there was only one build that ran ambassadors. I could be wrong, but there's one build that comes to mind that ran an ambassador. So I'll be interested to see if it cracks the meta in any of the ambassadors, not just the ones in this pack. Let's see. The chat is saying he could be good on a Zindi weapon. They're referencing James's build from the Fremont tournament. Yeah, his Zindi weapon build with the Kraxon, I believe it was, the one that can suck damage to his shields. That was a good.
Oh, yeah.
That was a pretty good build. Pairing him with a Sutherland on a defense build is good. So M Dempsey 82 asked, he doesn't get how, or he might not get how these work yet. But why would you accept? Seems like you would just deny the negotiations every time. I think it's going to take time for everybody to sort out how ambassadors really work. But I agree. You could deny it and just take the -3 attack dice. I think it's all going to come down to how you target, which ship you target. Because if you target, let's say I'll use the Fremont group as an example. Sam, who likes to run the Borg Sphere build with technological distinctiveness, if he builds, you give him time to ramp up his first attack with technological distinctiveness, then the -3 is really no big deal. And he'll deny the negotiations his time, because by the time he's ready to attack you, he's going to have that -3 already covered with technological distinctiveness. And then once that attack's done, Kamarag's done for the game pretty much. So it's really going to come down to how the player targets and whether you're going to accept or you're not. Again, I think it's going to take time for ambassadors to find their place. So let's grab the last card here. And it is the only other Klingon ambassador that we have ever seen on screen outside of Kal Yar, who was on TNG. I'm talking movies. We've got Korrd from Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Negotiations accepted. The target ship must plan its maneuver face up during the planning phase. When the target ship sustains damage to its shields or hull, this effect ends. Negotiations denied. You may plan the target ship maneuver during the next planning phase. The chosen maneuver must be on the target ship maneuver dial and be a green or white maneuver. The chosen maneuver may not cause the target to go outside of the play area. Okay. So there are a couple of cards I'm thinking of that do pair well with Korrd. But I'm gonna let Dan go first.
Well, lure.
Yep.
I mean, anything that's going to make them move where you want. I see this working well with. Lure, what's the other one?
Faked messages.
Faked
Oh,
messages.
yeah, fake messages. I could see that working very well with this. You know, it's a one-time only thing, right? So.
Yep. Yep, and the key phrase is the chosen maneuver may not cause the target ship to go outside the play area. That's fine and dandy if you ask me, but if you're in a situation where Korrd is targeting your ship and you can see that the player across from you has lore and faked messages, just accept the negotiations. Just accept them, because they're going to use lore and fake messages to then make it so that you go off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just accept this one. You got anything, Dave?
Just to reiterate it, it's because a turn, like a 2-turn, a 1 bank, and a 1 straight puts you basically facing the edge of the board, and there's not much you can do to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Short of being cloaked and sensor echoing and praying for your life. The other thing is, if you really start to fear Korrd, bring Matt Decker, and you can target yourself, and you can deal damage to yourself and end the effect.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that seems silly, but it does work.
That's true.
And it's not like Decker's a bad admiral to have in play. Decker's a great admiral. So.
Yeah. But no, I think, like I said, ambassadors, it's definitely going to take time to get used to how to play them. It's something new. I definitely like how WizKids has introduced them, making it so that you don't need a slot and you don't have to pay a faction penalty for them. I just think the abilities and the negotiations need to be a little bit better, but that's all stuff that can be worked on in future packs, because we've got plenty of ambassadors coming. There's plenty of ambassadors that exist in the universe that we haven't seen yet. Granted, that's looking at it, saying, "Hey, yeah, WizKids is coming out with more faction packs." I hope they do. I hope there's more plans. But having that said, all of that, we are at the end of all the new cards.